Hi there and welcome to Magic Hearts Tarot. I am Michelle. I'm going to get a message. I'm going to start off with the energy. One card, please. We're going to get the energy. We got two. We have Desperado, choices, consequences, freedom versus security, emotional scars, unreachable desires, inner turbulence, self-imposed isolation. So get one more card. You're feeling alone, but I feel like you also chose that too in the same time. Right? Because something didn't happen in the way that you thought. And now it's like, okay, well then I'll just be alone. And then we have Don't Fear the Reaper. Life and afterlife. Spiritual expression. Soul's journey. Immortality of love. Sensing eternity. Contemplation of life. Contemplation of the afterlife. Just what I was thinking. It could be that someone passed away. And that now it's like your sense of self. It's like unreachable desires. Something like, now that this isn't here anymore, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do with myself. And I also feel that this has put you in a space of reevaluating your life, reevaluating life in general. Is there an afterlife? Is there more than this? Absolutely. But you're, like thinking this way because now you're unsure. Because it's either that someone passed away or something ended that's making you question yourself. Who you are, where am I going? Is this what this is? Is this everything? Then we have the bottom of the deck. Who says you can't go home? And then it says home, belonging, safety, foundation, boundaries, home base, family, roots, protection, contentment, embracing your past. Absolutely. It's like you're questioning where you've came from. You're questioning your roots, your family. It could be that there was family secrets exposed that you didn't know. And that because of these, like things coming out, you're questioning life. Like, why is this all happening? I don't understand how I got here. Wow. And then look at this. We have yesterday. Melancholy, regret. Ruminating on the past, mourning, confusion. Wistfulness, yesterday's dreams, sorrow. When this person died, you felt like your life died. Like everything did. It's like whatever you thought you were going to have is now unobtainable. You feel like you lost your sense of foundation, your home. Because this person was your home. This person was your family. You're feeling confused and lost. You're mourning them as well as what you once had, your home. This is going to be a powerful reading. Very powerful. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling very sad. Whoever this person is, I'm feeling emotionally overwhelmed. A great deal of sorrow, a great deal of pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. It's like you're not even feeling whole anymore, is what I'm feeling here. It's like, who am I? And that's why you're desperado. You're out alone. You're out alone. You have this impending doom. Like this, like your life stopped, like I said, and it's like, this is what I got. This isn't what I thought my life was going to be. And you're trying to go back to that. And you're ruminating on the past. You're thinking about yesterday. You're thinking about the day like all the days before. Yesterday isn't just about yesterday. It's all the days before. You're ruminating on the past. And you're wanting to go back there. And like the song, because these are all songs, like the song says, who says you can't go back? Who says you can't go home? Who says you can't have that again? Just because that person isn't here in the physical, they're still with you, right? Because think about it. Contemplation of the afterlife. What does the afterlife mean? Well, for me personally, spirit is always with us. Might not be able to see them physically, but they are here. Let's get some tarot here. Queen of Cups. Because you're an empathetic soul, you're feeling this tremendously, is what the Queen of Cups is saying. Like you're in deep. See how you're in your emotions deep. See how she's underwater. You're in your emotions deep right now. And you've been there a long time. But again, the Knight of Pentacles is also someone who's very stubborn. And then the Queen of Wands came out in the reverse position. And what that's saying already here is that you're kind of like not seeing clearly. Like there's a lot of, like I said before, you're in deep. There's a lot of emotions. But what's happening is that you're getting pissed off about where you're at. Well, this is the way it's going to be. And there's no way of changing it. And you're getting angry also. Because, it's like grief comes in a lot of forms, and one of it is anger. Like not everybody is sitting there crying. They're also yelling and screaming too. So you're getting angry as well about this situation. Okay. See what else we got here. Woo! Oh my goodness. We have the Death card. And what's happening here, because Death is in the reverse position, you're stopping this transition from happening. You don't have to be in this place. You can go home. You don't have to wallow in yesterday. You can go back. But know that it's a different way of looking at things. It's a different way. like I said before, it's like having that life, but not necessarily sharing it in the physical with that person. That they're still here, just in a different form. And I mean, trust me when I say this, I recently, it'll be a year in July that I lost my sister, and unexpectedly. She had a massive heart attack. Very young, unexpectedly 57. And this here is resonating for me as a reader, because I do understand where you're at. Because it does change your life. It does change who you are when you lose somebody so close. It makes you question everything. It makes you question where you've been and what you're doing and where am I going to go, and like life I thought was one way and now it's not. Like you're questioning all of it. And what I'm saying for me as someone who does believe in the afterlife, who does believe in reincarnation, does believe that people come back, does believe that the soul of that person that passed on does look out for us, does visit. I believe in all that. Does it give me comfort? At times, yes. And then there's times when I'm the Queen of Wands in the reverse position and I'm pissed off that she's not here. You see what I mean? So it's kind of like being okay with what we're dealing with. You know, like not ruminating on the past, but trying to stay in the present moment and focus on different things rather than the sorrow and the pain. Focus on the positive. Focus on focus on who they were when they were here, and then integrate them still in your daily life. Yeah, see, Five of Swords, it's like you're in that, you're like I said before, something came out that you were like questioning your whole entire life. Like this person's death caused a lot of things to come up. And you're continually beating yourself up. You know, going through, you know, it's like emotional scars, like you're reopening wounds. And it's kept you, this wheel turned, and it wasn't a good one. And it's kept you in the defense mode. And now it's time for a new journey. Because there is an opportunity awaiting for you. It's like that life that you had did exist for a reason. It had its purpose. As all lives do. There is a purpose. But it also ended. And now that you have to learn to live and to continue living. Because there are opportunities coming. We have the Five of Pentacles. living in lack, right? Feeling that because, we have going into hermit mode, like living in lack. Like I said at the very beginning, you're choosing to go out on your own. You're choosing to be alone because you're living in that. Because, like I said, there was, like somebody lied to you and that changed your life. Somebody died and that changed your life. It's like your whole life changed and you can't handle it. So therefore you're like, I'm done. But you're still wanting what you once had, as far as like the positive, the safety feeling of your home, right? You're still wanting that and you can still have that. But I'm feeling that you need to embrace that there is that. Do you understand what I mean? This is still available. That just because that life that you once had is no longer in existence, you still have the right to be happy. And that's what you're facing here. You're still living. You still have the right to be here. It's everything. Just because things didn't go as planned, just because you found out things that you weren't necessarily happy with, that doesn't mean that you have to stay in self-isolation because you're afraid of being hurt. It's like, I can't handle anymore. Okay, so I'm going to see what the future holds for you. Like moving forward, coming out of this, what does the future hold for you? Look at this as I pick up this deck to have hope. Let's split it. Patience. It does take time to heal. It does. It takes a lot of time sometimes to heal, to move. But you have to choose it. You have to believe that it's possible. That just because, it's kind of like if you have like a vision board of your life, like I'm doing this, and this, right? But this doesn't happen. So then you're thinking that the next steps that you envisioned are gone, but that's not true. It's called taking another path to it, right? You got to just take another path. Okay, let's get some cards here. Light. You see, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And this is the future here we're talking about. Your passion ignites. Spiritual strength. Material and spiritual prosperity. Embracing, like I said before, embracing your spirituality. Embracing that there's life after death. Embracing that the person that you're missing is still with you, just in another form. Embracing that everything, even the most hurtful things, happen for a reason. That's a tough lesson. It's a true tough lesson. Because this life, as much as we think we know, we don't know anything. Because things can change on a dime. And not in a good way sometimes. And it's the coming up out of it that a lot of people have trouble with, that people don't understand. Because if they've never experienced such pain, like deep emotional pain, they don't. And then you have the other, on the other hand of that, people that have experienced it and they have bounced back, and then they're like, well, if I can do it, you could do it. Well, good for you that you did, right? That's how I've said that to people. Good for you that you did, but I'm me and you're you. And that's the other thing that you need to do. Don't compare yourself to other people either. You know, because it does take time, especially when you've had such a tower moment. You know? Because that's what this really was. This was a horrific tower moment for you. Let's see, so what can you do to get to this future place, right? We have the King of Swords in the reverse position. It says, emotions over ethics. There's a balance that's needed here. Because like I said before, you're in your emotions deep right now. And for me, personally, it's like you're not allowing your logical mind to come in when I see the King of Swords in the reverse position. Because the King of Swords in the upright is a very logical thinking person, logical mind, right? No emotion, just facts. So let's remove the emotion and let's get to the facts, right? Yes, something happened, and yes, things are horrific. Yes, it hurts. But do you want to stay here for the rest of your life in that? No. You don't want to be in pain for the rest of your life. So it's come to a place of, acceptance. Yes, I accept that this happened. Yes, I accept this hurts. Do I like it? No. Is there anything you could do to change it? No. But in order for me to move forward, I need to accept it, that it happened. And now those really are the facts. And that's a hard truth to swallow. Trust me. I know. But sometimes we have to be that person to ourselves to get us out of a space that hurts so deeply. Like I said, painful ending. Deep anguish, deep pain. Do you want to stay there? No, you don't want to stay there. We have the Four of Swords, and it's in the reverse position. This is somebody who is like living in it, like wallowing in that pain. That's what's happening, like I was saying before. So how can we get out of this? Three of Pentacles. Building that home. Building that home. Not necessarily going to be the same home, but building your own home. Building your safety. We have the Hermit in the reverse position. It's like, for me, that's coming out of that self-isolation. Coming out of that space of thinking, I'm just going to be alone because I don't want to be hurt. Desperado, right? Coming out of that. Page of Swords. Thinking about a way, things that you could do differently. That's going to ignite your joy. Because the Sun is in the reverse position. And right now you have none. Like, what can give you your personal joy back? Because you have been, because we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse position. You've been disconnected from where you thought your life was going. So moving forward right now, where do you want it to go? Where do you want to be? What do you want as your fair outcome? This is fair judgment, justice. What can balance your life again? What can restore the balance in your life? And not moving isn't an option here. Because we have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. That's somebody not taking action. Like, you could think about all these things all you want, and you could think about, and you can have all these ideas, but you have to take steps to move forward with that. Three of Wands. Opening your horizons. What is it that you want to do? Thinking outside of the box with the Hierophant in the reverse position. Unconventional thinking. Thinking outside of the box. Did you ever think that, like, you had this all, you know, in order? This, that vision board. Did you ever think you were keeping yourself small? Because you didn't realize that there was more out there in life, because you were keeping yourself comfortable, keeping yourself safe. And now that safety, that, you know, like the safety net is gone and everything, you're feeling very exposed right now. It's like, I don't know where I'm going. And that's what's really hurting you at this point. But think about it this way. Let's put a different spin on that and say that just opened you up to the possibilities of things that you didn't even know existed. Right? Then we have the Queen of Wands again that came out in the reverse position. It's like you're getting angry about something that didn't happen, but what if that actually was never supposed to happen? Whether or not the situation that led you to this did. Let's just say somebody didn't die. Let's just say there weren't like a lie or a tower moment that happened, but what you thought was going to happen never did anyway. Did you ever think that maybe it wasn't supposed to happen to begin with in the way that you thought, and what was actually supposed to happen was where you're at right now because you were keeping yourself small? Think about it that way. And you were wanting it, but you were afraid of it. You weren't going after it with the passion that you could have, because you were actually afraid of putting yourself out there. And now you're out there because you're deeply exposed, because you're not in that comfort zone where you once were, living a life that you've lived your entire life up until that moment. And now all of a sudden your life, what you thought, who you thought you were, is completely gone. And now you have the opportunity to rebuild, but build it in such a way that it's lasting. Because not everybody gets to the Ten of Pentacles, right? Because that's lasting security. You have an opportunity to build your life, to rebuild. And you're wallowing in a life that doesn't exist anymore. You know, like, home doesn't necessarily have to be your childhood home. Home is where you are. So you can go home, because you can have that feeling of security again. You might not necessarily have it in the way that you thought you were going to. And that's why you feel hopeless. Star. in the reverse. You feel hopeless because you're thinking that it was only supposed to be one way, but it was never supposed to be that way. Tower. Painful transition, right? Leaving something that you once thought was your happily ever after when actually it wasn't. Like I said before, you're thinking that it was supposed to be this. It has to be this, because if it's not this, then I'm going to be unhappy. And that's problematic perfectionism. You're thinking that's like black or white thinking. It has to be this, because if it's not this, then it's that. If it's not this life, it's not this vision, then I'm not going to be happy. And you're learning that's not always the case. It's easier if we're in a space of flow, going with the flow, than us being rigid and thinking that it has to be one way. And this is another lesson here that we're learning. Right? You're feeding your own purpose. You're wanting to be happy, but if you can't think outside of the box, you're never going to be happy. It's time to that unconventional thinking. It's time to think about this differently. Like remove the fact, like I said before, if this is because somebody passed away, remove the fact that a person died, right? Because obviously that's painful. Okay? And I'm not saying, because like I said before, I know where you're at. I'm not saying that it's not painful. What I'm saying is that a tragic end, be it a person, be it a situation, let's remove that, okay, for just this minute. Where you once were in your life, whatever you were supposed to do there, whatever lessons, that time has ended. And now it's time to begin again. A new chapter, literally a new chapter. Like, think about it differently. Just change your perspective on your situation. Think about it differently. Try to remove yourself. What would you say to somebody else? Okay, well, this part of your life is over and now it's time to move on again. Think about it as like you're in high school and you graduated high school and now you got to go to college, or you have to, like your job, start your family, like whatever this is. And you're wanting to go back to high school because it's comfort. And going out into the world is scary. That's kind of like where you're at. You've graduated from where you once were. You've learned what you needed to learn. And now you're moving on to the big world. And what you thought was going to happen isn't necessarily going to happen. You're not boxed in anymore to that. And just because that didn't happen doesn't mean that nothing else is going to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to, it's self-defeating if you think that just because one situation didn't work, that nothing else is going to, is basically what we're talking about. You're reluctant to change, and that's what's keeping you in a place of pain. And you have to open yourself up to the change. Open yourself up to the possibility that life can be better. You can be happy again. It might not necessarily be with the person or in the place or where you once were and life has changed, but you yourself can be happy. Because, like I said before, necessary endings, right? As painful as it is, things do end. And some of the endings are necessary. And we have the Empress. Taking care of you, mothering you, right? Creating. She is the creator of life. I'm not just talking about a baby here. Creator of life. You have an opportunity to create a new life. That life. Think about the old you, where you were at. That's what died. The old way of doing, the old way of being, gone. You have an opportunity to begin again here. You have an opportunity to start your whole life again. That's what this is saying right now. But you have to be open to that. It's kind of like, because we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse position. You're thinking that your anchor, or is gone. Like what you thought, your security was weakened. And you're thinking because of that, and that hurt. Like I said, the Three of Swords, that's what hurt you. It's like what was secure in your life is gone. But what you don't understand is you have the opportunity to begin again, to build that yourself. Seven of Pentacles, to plant the seeds of your own Ten of Pentacles, right? You have the opportunity here. We have the Seven of Swords. Don't allow what happened to keep you, like I said, be it lies, betrayal, painful ending, heartbreak. Like, don't allow that pain to keep you in a position where you have to stay there for the rest of your life because that happened. Like, again, that's even black and white thinking. Because that happened, then nothing else is going to ever, be good, right? And that's not true. Here we have with that Ace of Wands that I've been waiting for it to come out. See this as an opportunity for you. Like, cherish the memories, but don't live in the past. Be that, like you are, use this as a stepping stone. Be, to move forward, to be determined to change your life, to do what you got to do. Because you will be, victorious. You will have what you once thought you were getting, but just in a different way, is what I'm saying. Just try to look at your situation differently, get a new perspective on your situation, look at it differently, and that's what's going to help you to move forward. Okay, all right, so I'm going to leave the reading here. I truly appreciate your time and your energy in watching this video today. I do hope that this message has helped you, and if it resonated with you, please like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you again in the next one. Take care and have a blessed day.